Hello, Beard Wizard family. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Beard Wizard Man, also known as Trevor on social media. Links to all of which you're going to find in that video description below, including ways to support this channel, like clicking that red subscribe button and getting us closer to 5,000 subscribers. I know I've always said by the end of the year, and I'm hoping we get to 4,500 by the end of the year. 5,000 is definitely a pie in the sky dream. But the sooner we get to 5,000, then we can set that goal for 7,500 and shoot for that next milestone in this channel's growth in life. If you've been watching, also, we're currently in the middle of the 12 Days of Beermas, which is my Christmas tradition now, so to speak. I did Advent calendars for 2 years, and now I'm just doing a 12-day German versus U.S. beer review. Day 6 went pretty well, so you may see me drinking 2 different beers during the show. Because I'm still working on those beers from their previous show. So it's Thursday. Normally I would do a new band on Thursday, but I did a new band yesterday on the Warning Wednesday. So we're just going to do one of the bands that's already on our list, one of the artists, musicians, content creators, and that happens to be my Uncle Al. Good afternoon, James, and welcome. For those of you who do not know, because we haven't seen Al on the channel in a while, Al Cain is my uncle. So I do my best to be fair and impartial, but he is an independent artist. He has been doing music since the 70s. I grew up knowing that my Uncle Al was not only in the Air Force, but was also, a musician and singer and guitar player. So it was really cool to grow up with that and know my uncle as I've grown and aged and all of that. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. James says the review is excellent. I appreciate that. I have a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully people get entertained and learn something, because I like to make it educational. So anyway, we're going to take a look at Al Cain's latest, which is called Homeless Evening Prayer. Al Cain is kind of a folk artist, kind of country rock. And we're going to take a look at this song. And again, I got to be fair. I know he's my uncle, and I have spoken out many times about AI images and its use, and I have critiqued some videos of musicians who have used AI, and unfortunately that's what we've got here too. To be fair to my uncle, I understand. Independent artists who don't have a lot of backing, sometimes they want to use some art, and there's not a lot of options out there. But I gotta be true to myself too, and just say the one disappointment I have in this is the use of AI art. But the song itself is beautiful, and I did want to read, because it is very important, the description. Homelessness is a big issue in our country. Although there are issues of addiction, physical, mental illness among the homeless, some folk are only a serious illness and loss of 2 paychecks away from being on the street. This is the story of Tommy, Rachel, and Billy. Please understand that they are not meant to point to specific people. They are 3 fictitious people that I'm using to tell this story. You may see someone you know in their situation, but they are simply a product of my mind. But yeah, these may be fictitious characters, but these stories are very real. And this is a very important thing. That is why we're doing this and shining some light on this, because this is a very important subject. And right now, more than ever, it's cold out there. People are away from their families. It's the holidays, and there are people out there with nothing. And so it is important to remember that right now. So we're going to take a look at Homeless Evening Prayer, pause as necessary, talk about the music, etc. and so on. You know what this is, live review show. James and everybody else who's in the live chat, please say hi. If you're watching the recording, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But here we go. This is Al Cain's Homeless Evening Prayer. Cheers.
It's 3 a.m. in any town. The bars have all closed down. The neon lights, they're fading out of sight. There's a barrel out in the alley, out behind the Five and Dime, with a fire that takes the chill out of the night. The only ones still out here are the lost and all alone. They gather around this makeshift altar glow. Hand in hand with heads bowed down and voices soft and low. They softly sing their evening prayer of hope.
So, as usual, Al is very good at creating an imagery with his lyrics, with his song, even the tone of his vocals. Yeah, James, Bob Dylan vibes. Definitely, I would say Bob Dylan is a big inspiration for Al. Um, um, oh, I forgot his name. There's a couple of artists from that era that I know Al was a big fan of, and I'm sure, but I don't know if I remember him talking about Bob Dylan, but I bet Bob Dylan is probably one of his inspirations. Um, but just his tone, his the sadness in his voice is coming through, the depth of this issue, the depth of this problem is coming through in his tone, and very spoken word in this case. It's not as much of a song as this is a poem with a guitar behind it, which really, there's such a fine line between a song and a poem. But this one is definitely hovering back and forth on that line very well. That's not a bad thing, mind you, but it's very well.
They softly sing their evening prayer of hope. Guide us, Lord, and walk with us as we wander through this life. Keep us safe, see us through this night. Help us find a place where we can lay our heads to rest, until once again we gather in your sight. Now Tommy lost his only son, then he lost his way. Now he roams the streets alone most every night. Sometimes he stops and stares and the tears roll down his face. People pass him by, never asking why.
I think that's an important point, that it's easy to ignore the issue when it's not your issue. We take for granted a lot in this world. We take for granted that we have a roof and heat and food and drink and water. There are a lot of people out there that don't have those things. And it's easy to say, well, somebody else will do something about it. I encourage you this time of year, whether it be a veterans homeless shelter, a homeless shelter, a halfway house, whatever it is in your area, even if it's donating to a local food bank or something, every little bit helps. And too many people, I think, they think, well, somebody else will do something. Like, there's other people doing something about it. Somebody else will do something about it. So I don't necessarily have to. And you know what? More people think that than not. And if everybody's thinking that, then nobody's doing anything. So I encourage you, whatever little bit. I know it's hard for a lot of people out there. Even if you do have a house, even if you do have a job, it's still tight. It's still hard. But when you have that chance, when you have that opportunity to pass even a little bit on, I encourage you to take it.
People passing by, never asking why. Rachel, she once had a life in a place that she called home.
I agree, James.
But she lost her job and she struggles to understand how her car became the shelter that keeps her from the rain. Nothing like the life that she had planned. And Billy fought in the last war and came home to find her gone. Everything he cherished was shattered in one night. Now all that he has left are broken promises and dreams. And he can't see any way to make things right. Guide us, Lord, and walk with us as we wander through this life. With you by our sides, we'll never be alone. Help us find a place tonight where we can rest our heads until that day when you finally lead us home. And we're all waiting for that day you lead us home.
Yeah, that's again. Al is a great storyteller, a beautiful musician, and has a great voice for the kinds of stories he tells. Yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, a lot of his stuff has a good sense of humor. He has a lot of good stories, and this one is probably one of the more sad songs that he's written and done. And I think though it's an important one, especially this time of year, like James says, very deep message. I really want this to play during Christmas. Yeah, like this is a good song for this time of year, because now this time of year more than any other time, this hits hard for people. Um, this is the time where people are struggling the most and need the most help. So do what you can, like James said, and everybody else, just do what you can. Every little bit helps. Definitely go check out Al's channel and subscribe there. Let him know the Beard Wizard Man sent you, so he knows where the love is coming from. And be sure to subscribe here. Get us to 5,000 as soon as we can, so that we can move on to our next goal. I should be on tonight with some Tarkov, and back again with another episode of Battle of the 12 Days of Beermas. James and everybody else, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you all. I will see you guys all again soon. You have a great one. Much love.